The fact that Ryan drives a Cybertruck is the most on-brand thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Quite frankly, I wouldn't want to go on either one of these trips. Jen wore a t-shirt that said, "I'm not for everyone." Then Emily wore a shirt that said, "I'm too expensive." And we rounded out the episode with Tamara wearing a hat saying, "I don't like to cook, but I love to stir the pot." It's season 19. We know who you are. You don't need to tell us. Also, just wear regular clothes. Welcome to Showmance, the only show on the internet doing deep dives on shows with no depth.
Shows as shallow as the authenticity of Tamara's apology tour.
It's so bad.
It's
so bad.
It's so bad, but it's so good when you don't. I always say, I love it when people just, they don't even waste their time trying to fool you.
Yep.
Maybe she thinks she is, but she might be one of the most transparent people on Bravo. Like every time she was trying to have any discussion about anything through the whole thing, she just showed us exactly who she was. And I do respect consistency, I guess.
I have a big note about this when we get to that scene.
It's all throughout. There's so many of them. Every time someone tries to have anything with her, she's like, "Well, I'm sorry for living.
I apologize."
Yeah.
Then I'll just say my note now. It's all right, Tamara. It's just, she can't understand. She's like, "I just don't understand. I'm apologizing. Why don't any of these bitches want to just move forward with me?"
Yeah.
And it's like, because you know what? It's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
They've been fooled 1,800 times over all of these seasons that you've been on this show. And so they're a little gun shy, Tamara.
Yeah.
They don't accept your apology as anything other than a bag of a bullshit.
Yeah.
Even her daughter was said it. She's like, "You are
Oh, so
shady
good.
boots,
I
girl."
know. I love that.
Do you know what this is like?
What?
This is like going to your high school reunion with your partner, but you didn't go to that high school and you don't know any of the people. And everyone's having a grand old time talking about all the good times they had and the bad times they had and
That's
how
a great analogy.
mean Sherry was. But I don't
She's
know
still
who the
mean.
fuck Sherry is. Like, I've heard these people, I've heard you talk about them, but I don't, this is what this is like.
When you think about a grudge, it normally like refers to like a decade-long grudge that this woman's held against me ever since I took her PBJ out of the fucking work refrigerator. You know, like a grudge is a long-standing thing. I feel like she's calling people like grudge holders for something that happened at breakfast this morning.
Literally, it's last season, but it's also like you did something horrible to this person, and that's why they're mad at you. It's actually, technically it's a grudge, but more so, she's just pissed because you were a shitty friend.
Yeah, and who goes back to the same friend that just continuously fucks them over and over and over and over again? I don't.
Well, this is kind of where we start the episode, because after we see all the like typography T-shirts, we get into Tamara inviting Shannon to wherever the hell they went, Temecula. Shannon doesn't want to say yes to the trip, and when she ends up at lunch with Gina and Jen and was Heather there? No, it was just the three of them. She goes, I don't want to go because I don't want to give her false hope. I don't want this old friendship back. And I always say, when the universe gives you an out, take it. Because we've all had that friend that you're like, one of two things are going to happen if I don't get out of this friendship like quickly. I'm going to kill them or I'm going to kill myself. And neither one are good.
Yeah.
Because I can't take it anymore. And regardless of what you think of Shannon, I do think she had it up to here with Tamara, and now like that she's out of her. Yeah, now. And by the way, I don't necessarily think that Shannon is like the easiest person to be friends with. I think that everything that Tamara was saying about her, just like, you were very needy and blah, blah, blah. I can see how all of that could be true. I also just think that that Shannon's life is better without Tamara in it. And it's wild to watch Shannon, who seemingly doesn't have great willpower to like not go back to the crappy relationship or not have the last word. She's really been very reserved this season, at least thus far, as to not going back to like lick the boot that kicked her.
Tamara mocked her at every corner that she could. Like every time she would bring it up, like when they're meeting up where we first see the stupid fucking shirt that says "I'm expensive," wherever that store is, whatever they're doing there.
Yeah.
Tamara says to Emily, "I called Shannon to invite her on a trip, and I was so upbeat and listing all the things we were going to do. and she was just a hot mess with her.
She looked
answers
crazy,
the phone.
she said.
Yeah, she answers the phone. Her hair is wild. Her boobs are hanging out. They cut straight to her. Yeah. She literally had a top on higher than this.
Button your top button, and that's what Shannon was wearing.
Her top was. Her hair was not sticking straight up. She didn't have any makeup on. She was getting a facial with her daughter. And you get
Which I appreciate.
Yes,
I'm on my no makeup train, okay?
Well, you're not allowed to wear makeup to facials, regardless if you want to wear it or not. And then you get a random FaceTime with Tamara, and she expects you to be glammed, hair and makeup ready. This is so on brand for Tamara, and like one part of like the overarching shittiness about her. There's nothing genuinely nice about this hoe. She's incapable of like any showing of good faith. She can't even make it through a single good deed without exalting herself for the good deed and bashing whoever was on the other end, the receiving end of it. If you were truly trying to make good with someone that you did wrong and just said you feel badly for it, you don't immediately take shots at how they received the apology. Or at the very least, the state of their appearance when you decided to randomly FaceTime them. Like, what is wrong with you? Shannon is like wildly uncomfortable during this conversation. She doesn't want to go. Clearly they're on a show together. They get paid the big bucks. So like, we know they're gonna end up on the trip. Speaking of that, I did think like it was interesting that they had 2 trips.
Well, because Tamara didn't invite, she didn't want to be around Gretchen and maybe Emily. I couldn't understand it really either. I've never.
Did she say that though? Did she say, I don't want to, I'm only taking you guys because I don't really want to like be with these other girls?
Yeah, she said something about like not wanting to be around Gretchen.
Oh, I did not know that. I was really thinking it was because of the bigger thing that's going on with Katie. Katie wanted to go on the trip. She actually asked production, just give me the address. I'll just show up there. Like no one needs to invite me to show. Like, which I appreciate. You're showing up for work.
I appreciate that also.
Yeah, and it's going to be totally uncomfortable for you. And she's still like, I will drive myself there and show up if you just give me the address. And production said, we don't think it's a good idea because then it's going to be all about you again. And which it would have been. But I think that with Katie having to be on the sidelines right now, like production knew that they've got to figure out like how. Because the whole first half of the season was all about the Katie thing. So now they have to figure out what their stories are going to be, sans the person who's been like the topic of the hour.
I was thinking as I was like, making my notes or whatever for the show, that remember I said, I think it was like 2 seasons ago, the show was so bad. It was so boring. They ended with this weird music video.
Yeah.
And Gina's face skincare company that never even really launched or whatever. When they removed Katie and there really isn't any drama right now, and I'm not looking for people to be bullied or whatever, not that I don't know how I feel that if Katie was being bullied, I haven't landed on any of that yet. I'm just saying they removed her kind of in the last 2 episodes and the episodes fell flat. Like this episode was such a wet fart. Sorry.
No, it was literally just Tamara proving over and over and over again who she is.
Yeah.
And I thought Heather had a good episode. I just thought she
was funny.
Yeah.
Actually, because I think that's kind of the next step in the episode, because before they leave for the trip, you see that she's doing her podcast, which by the way, I didn't even know she had a podcast, which doesn't surprise me.
It's just easier to assume that they've all got one.
And now I will. Lesson learned. Thank you. But I wrote this down that this is when I love Heather the most, because I do think she just seems like a really good mom and really like rides for her kids. She does have 3 queer kids. And I just think she really gives a shit about like the LGBTQIA community, which I do also. Yeah. I feel like I can speak for everyone in this room, like we all do. And I just like, especially in Orange County, where it's a much, it's diametrically opposed to LA and like how we kind of are with, I say West Hollywood.
Our do you boo motto.
Correct. And I just say like West Hollywood proudly for me is the gayest place on earth. And I love it. I like that she brought Dylan onto the show, which funnily enough, I have also met Dylan at Kathy's house.
Yeah.
And she's wonderful. And I loved her. And I love that she was on the show. And I don't know, that made me, I'm like, oh, this is when Heather's at her best for me personally.
Yeah. I remember when I asked you, when you told me that you met Dylan, I was like, what's she like in real life? And you're like, exactly what you see. So I love that. We all love that.
So much fucking fun. Such a good time. So sweet, so funny, like in on the joke of shit. I had the best time with her. I spent the entire night with her, and not that she would remember me, but like I remembered her because I was just so taken by her. I was like, you are a fucking rad chick.
Yeah. Tamara says, I do think that my delivery was harsh last year towards Shannon, and I do feel bad about that. But there's so much history that I don't like to just throw away friendships that are that deep. You wouldn't be the one throwing away the friendship. You have no right to throw away the friendship. No reason, no right. That would be Shannon's job. That would be actually not Shannon. Every other woman on this show would be the one throwing away your friendship, because that's how that works. You wrong them, and then the wronged people make that kind of decision.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is dead on balls accurate. But if we want to go a step deeper, okay?
Yeah.
Mike, I don't know if you saw last season at all, but essentially Shannon had...
this show?
Yeah.
I watched our episode. It was this one we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just let you know. Shannon had a DUI last season. She drove essentially like into her boyfriend's house.
I don't blame her.
Yeah, I would like to drive into that guy's house right now, totally sober. I think I would like to remember it, and really be present in the moment.
So you could Memorex it.
Yeah.
And I am like how Nat just went back and rewatched all of the Vanderpump, which, by the way, one of my girlfriends, she posted, I don't care what anyone says, and she doesn't know you. Okay, this is unsolicited. She said, I don't care what anyone says. Nothing will ever be as good as seasons 1 through 3 of Vanderpump Rules. So I just want to let you know.
Yeah, I think I said 1 and 2, but I think I said that at the time that I was watching. I was probably only like halfway into 3, and then halfway into 3, it got just as banger as the first 2. So really it is 1 through 3 are just the tits. Ask literally anyone. Ask Meteor Wine. He will tell you, because he is the one that brought it up to me and like spurred me to remember I should go back and watch that. And then I was like, I can't believe I waited this long to rewatch this show. Like, I'm kind of glad, because it really felt like it was all brand new to me to a certain point. Just do it.
Nike.
Bravo. Just do it. To remember what you are capable of.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that's what we're all looking for.
That's the heat we're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
I went back last year and I rewatched every Orange County, and I do this every year. I rewatch everything because I'm a sick fuck. Although this show has gotten in the way of me doing my ritual watchings.
Yeah,
anyway,
I know.
At a certain point, something can't just be editing, right? You've got, like, if you're looking at Tamara's string of burned friendships and stuff like that, like, she's got to be doing something. And I'm never one to diagnose another person. It's not my job. I don't think it's fair, blah, blah, blah.
I'll be doing the diagnosing.
Okay, I will not. However, she does, something needs to be looked at there. And by the way, this season, she seems like she has taken a look at things. I don't know if she's in therapy, whatever, because she would get really schnockered and say and do things and kind of be a little bit of a train wreck, or a lot of bit of a train wreck. In many a different scenario. It doesn't matter if it was with John Jansen or her previous relationship or being single or the lawsuit or whatever it is. So I understand Tamara having concern for her, but then you have concern for someone the way that Gina has concern for you. So like at the end of this episode, the way that, and we'll get there, like, it was just delivered so differently. And last season, this is what I was going to say to Mike, because you didn't see it, like, Tamara just went in on her at any opening. Like, and way to kick someone while they're down. Granted, she did a bad thing. Drinking and driving is a horrible thing to do.
Yeah, so is getting your friend super wasted so that your son could hook up with her in a bathroom. Just saying.
Right. It's like we're all...
Judgy McJudgerton over there.
People agree with me on that, too. I think I was onto something.
Oh my God. Fish and gal.
No,
we
two.
have to live here with this, please.
Not just fish and gal.
Oh, more people said you were right about that.
Yeah, well, that they were interested in the idea that he was a bartender, that kid, and he could have access to doing something like that, or he was the bartender that night, maybe.
Listen, I'll go in pretty far and I'll call this kid a loser and that whole thing fucked up. But like, once we get into like calling things like intended SA and whatever, like, I do get a little like I don't know. Like I'm not going to diagnose that quite yet.
There were comments.
Let it be known. She can have a conspiracy theory, but
even though I do
can't.
understand that sentiment, like, yes, all the fucking flags point to that. I just, when you live through season 2 of The Valley and you see little Danny getting called that every week, you go, I think I might stay away from just calling people straight up essayers.
I've watched that episode 800 times.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to let everyone know she was not roofied. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
when you are roofied, I was actually out with my cousin and her best friend. This was a few years ago. And we went and sat at a bar. I think maybe we had 2 drinks, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. And all of a sudden we walk out of the bar and my cousin is like, oh my, I'm going to be so sick, starts throwing up everywhere.
Yeah.
And basically like collapses. And then all of a sudden the same thing happened to her friend. Now, granted, I get that the theory here is that Gretchen was the only one roofied. Gretchen wouldn't have been able to film a full dinner scene. This was a full night at their house. And when
Yeah.
they're doing these dinner scenes, they're hours long. Then she was in a bathroom with a closed door and presumably made out with
Yeah.
Ryan. None of that. You wouldn't be able to keep your eyes open. You would either be passed out or beefing and honking somewhere.
Yeah.
Or passed out while you're beefing and honking. Like it doesn't track.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't think that she was roofied. I think that this is all Slade's concoction somehow. I think it all stems back to him just using words to say. And listen, somebody else pointed out, like just because booze is legal, like if you're shoving booze down someone's throat and they become incapacitated, like they can't give consent. So it does lead to nowhere good. And especially if everyone's intending to get this person that wasted, which also Little Red said, naked wasted is a term. It's a Southern term. I've heard it. And it's basically, I'll read the comment later, but it's basically getting so hammered that you get naked and bang someone. Like that is, it's pretty like, I guess.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, I guess she didn't need to tell me that, but I did like to hear that, like, no, that's a term. Because we were like, no, this is the first time we'd ever heard it. And she's like, no, that's a Southern term.
Yep. And I think it was Jeanette Allen who was like, no, that's still illegal, giving someone that much tequila.
No, so many people did. There was like a handful. And so I just want to say, I totally agree. I think I'm literally just trigger shy of saying that this person was trying to, like, I'm a little just, try not to call people racists, and I try not to call people sexual offenders.
Unless they are.
And
then I have no problem calling you a racist or a sexual offender, because then just don't be one.
Yeah. I just don't like those words to lose their luster.
Their meaning.
Yeah. Their bang.
The impact.
Yeah.
I'll be translating for Natalie tonight.
Yeah. If I start calling everybody a sexually offending racist, then like you're not going to listen to me forever. You're barely listening to me now. So were you going to say something and I kept talking?
Yeah. Naked wasted could also be Will Ferrell in
Old School.
I don't think you have to bang. You can get so wasted that you run down the street naked.
Let's go streaking. There were a lot of comments about this, and I just would like to talk about it real quick.
Yeah.
Just because we're on the subject.
Yeah.
Shannon Fall actually was the one that posed the question that I remember. I'm sure other people said it too. Like, do you think Tamara put her son up to all of that stuff in the Naked Wasted episode? Yeah. And I kind of said it last episode. I want to say it again, though, like expand on what I was saying. Expound, rather. I think Tamara was like, look, you're of age. She's of age. You're 2 adults. I know she's cheating on her fiance anyway. So in vino veritas, you know what I mean? Like, get her hammered. And like, we're not going to shove the drinks down her face, but if you keep putting them there and she keeps drinking them, that's on her. And you think she's hot. So if you guys end up hooking up, you end up hooking up. I think that's how it was billed. I think that was the conversation that she may or may not allegedly have had with her son. And I think he was, what's that saying? Like, you're young, dumb, and full of cum or whatever.
Yeah,
I hate that saying. But
no, isn't that your favorite movie, Point Break?
No, whose is it? Truth's?
Is her favorite movie Point Break?
I think one of her favorite movies.
Oh, but you love
Point
Yeah,
Break.
I thought that you liked it too. I thought that's
like
why she brought it up,
quoting it.
is because.
Oh.
I like quoting it. It's not my. That's the dumbest. No offense, Truth. It is the dumbest movie of all time. But the one-liners are epic.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the shit that wasn't filmed. That was like the conversation being like, look, you guys clearly both flirt and think each other are hot and you're both adults. So if you end up hooking up, great. She's already cheating on her. Boy, and I don't necessarily think that Gretchen was cheating on Jeff. I just think that is probably how the conversation went. So he was emboldened and he was bartending and they did just keep putting the drinks in front of her. She did drink them. I'm not saying it makes it right, but then all of a sudden he was like, okay, great. I'm going to make my move when she's in the bathroom because I think she's hot and I do want to hook up with her.
Yeah.
And I think that's how that all went down. Do I think she said she's coming to dinner tonight and you better fucking hook up with Gretchen? Of course not. I do not think that.
No, I way more lean on the side of Tamara being like, here's what we're going to do. You're going to get her so drunk and we are going to get her to cheat on Jeff. I think that was her MO. She set out to humiliate Gretchen because for the same thing you said last week, like, who knows why she seems to not like Gretchen is that she's younger and hotter at the time. Like, I do kind of love that they'll always kind of bring someone on that's within a 10-year range younger than Tamara, because I feel like Tamara every year just has to deal with like, I was that hot 10 years ago. And Tamara's beautiful, like she is. But I do feel like every time a blonde, like a long-haired blonde comes on, it's like she's like, oh, here we go again. Yeah. Now I've got to go get one of those fucking crazy face peels where they burn your whole face off and like pull everything back. She's probably got like a clip back here holding. Like, I understand, because when you're a fucking bitch, you better be hot. Like, otherwise you are just going to get not only called a fucking bitch a million times in the comments, you're going to get called an old, haggard, fat, this, that, because people are animals. That, this is just, so I think that Tamara has to, if she's going to keep being herself, she's got to stay.
It is an interesting thing though that you bring up, because I didn't think about this until now, which shame on me.
You're too close to it.
Yeah, I am. And I also I really always, every time Tamara comes back being like, I met Jesus, I'm going to get baptized or whatever. Like, I want to believe,
Yeah.
She is insanely triggered by anyone who she perceives could be hotter than her.
Yep.
It doesn't even matter younger, because I think like her and Jen are relatively close in age, and Jen has, again, I'm not trying to compare people. I'm just saying, like, she's got she is very fit, right?
Yeah.
She's got the same kind of hairdo, the same look, all that stuff, but maybe is in a little bit better shape than Tamara is. And that's why Tamara had to bring out the picture of her being not as fit. And it's like, oh, here comes Gretchen. Gretchen is younger and more fit than Tamara. And it's like, right. So now she's got to say she's cheating on her. If she thinks you're hotter than her, she's got to take you down.
Yeah.
Is how it's, whether that's true or not, that's how it's coming across.
I think that's exactly it. It's that long platinum hair and big boobs. Like, these are just things
How do you live in Orange County then? How do you have a friend in Orange County? Because everyone in Orange County is that, not everyone, but it is a very Orange County look.
No, totally. I think it's just the show. I think she likes to own the show and be the top dog in all avenues, whether it's the hottest, the longest standing, the OG, the bitch in charge. Like, she's exhausting. But I have to keep remembering, like, everybody signed up for this, and Tamara is the reason for the season on this show.
No, she is.
So
she is. And
deal with it.
I'm fine with her there.
Yeah.
We though, like, as this episode progresses, we get into, and I know people look at these scenes as like filler and fluff. I'm fine with filler and fluff as long as it's a good cause. Like, to me, I don't give a shit if it was filler to just see Heather at her podcast, because she has someone on that does deserve a spotlight on them. Then when they went to the rescue organization in OC, it was Jen and Emily. One, I love this scene because I'm, like all of us in this room, like a adopt, don't shop kind of gal. So I just like that they highlight that. And also I think, like, Emily talks a lot about her rescue dogs, and Jen also talks a lot about how she like fosters kittens and she's on all that stuff. And she's a cat lady, which I love. Yeah. We all love. And I just think, like, in Orange County, a lot of people probably do get designer dogs. And I'm not hating on you if you do. I just think there's like, it's some crazy statistic that if like 2% of all animal owners in this country, if you guys just rescue dogs instead of bought them, like, we wouldn't have to be euthanizing thousands of animals every day. And it just breaks my heart.
No, there should be like a law. Like, if you get one designer dog, then you get 4 rescues.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's a 1-to-5 ratio.
But none of those ladies took any dogs home or any cats, did they?
No, they were just there to volunteer.
Oh, right.
Because Emily has 2 rescue dogs and Jen has rescue animals. And I just always think of my little Lefty guy. He's my first cat. He's just got one ear. That's why we call him Lefty, because he just got his left ear. And he was rescued on the day he was going to be euthanized.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Like literally had hours left to live.
Yeah.
And was scooped up. And he's truly like, you could hate cats. And if you came to my house, you'd be like, but I like this guy.
Yeah.
He's just the best fucking cat. And also I'm biased. And so anyway, I just think like there's just so many good ones. So anyway, I thought it was great that they went to an animal rescue, did stuff there. And by the way, they both have rescued animals from there and all that stuff. So that was authentic-ish for the show. And then they talked again about Emily's son, Luke, who's having, behavioral stuff, and they're trying to get down to a diagnosis. And again, I get that these scenes feel like filler. I just appreciate her being so honest about this stuff, because it's the same reason why I appreciate Brittany being honest on The Valley about like her story with Cruz and like what it was like to be diagnosed and how long it took and the journey and all this shit, because parenting is so hard if your kid doesn't have a cold, let alone autism or any other like behavioral stuff, because you just want to give them everything they need. And you see, like, she's such a good parent, but she keeps saying, I feel like I'm such a bad mom. I don't know how to parent my kid. Is this going to lead to a divorce? And I just think it's very brave of her to be so honest. And I really appreciated it.
I will say I did like the part where she said that she didn't think that her other two kids, I'm going to butcher it, and she put it really well, but like she paid more attention to the one kid because she felt like they needed it, and she didn't think her other kids needed her so much.
Yep.
But they totally did. I thought that was kind of interesting. Just thinking like, oh, they're good. They don't,
Yeah, and
like I'm not a parent, but like having multiple kids, I could totally relate. I don't know how, but I could understand what she was saying. If you had one kid that's like, oh, I need to pay attention to this guy a little more. These other two are fine. I don't need to worry about them. And then years go by and you're like, oh shit, I probably should have worried about all my kids. They're just different worries that they all need.
Yeah, and that's why I think she's so brave, because she even said, she was like, and that was my mistake. She was like, I messed up there. And like, listen, you're just doing the best. Emily, you're just doing the best you can. I don't necessarily think you messed up there. And I also think it's just a testament to, she must be a very good parent, because that kid, Luke, he's a twin. And so his twin, she said in this scene, came up to her and said, can I see a therapist also? Because I feel very alone now. And I just think like you have to be a good parent if your kid feels that comfortable that they can come up to you and say, hey, I need help.
No, that's true.
Also, are we in a world now where admitting that you did something wrong is brave?
I think we are. Because I think
with
so
these hoes.
Fucking reality.
Because I think everyone tries to portray, especially online, like this perfect, flawless, problemless, all the lisses existence. And
what online are you living in? The metaverse?
Just like you go onto like certain influencers pages and it's just like everything's glossy or great, or like even the problems are still like, but then I found this product and everything went back to normal. Like, or just admitting like, oh, I could have done that better. I don't think people necessarily say like, oh, I was wrong, or I don't think she was wrong, but like she said, oh, in hindsight, I could have done that better. And I don't think we live in a world currently where a lot of people are like, oh, I could have been a better friend, a better neighbor, a better whatever.
Okay, I'm going to blow this up.
Oh,
Listen,
no.
I know. But I was thinking of this last week, and I didn't say it last week, and I should have just said it, because I have been on the fence this whole time about like, is it right or wrong to air all of your kids' like medical record issues? And honestly, my reflex, like, no, I would say absolutely not. Then I watched Mary Cosby and her son have what I'm still like, I could cry thinking about it. It was like one of the most moving moments. Mary Cosby is on Salt Lake. Her son,
Robert
like I
Jr.
remember seeing him several episodes before they ever mentioned this. He was like, she was at home and him and his friend were like walking in and like going somewhere.
His wife.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's his wife. Yeah, but the kid didn't ever tell his parents he got married for like a year, and he's still living at home. So interesting thing. Don't you wish you were covering Salt Lake? But I remember seeing those kids walking up the stairs, and like I was here by myself, just like watching the screen, and like out loud, I go, "Oh, that kid's on drugs."
I did the same thing.
Yeah, like we know opioids. We know the deal. And it was like
awful.
written all over their faces. Seeing in interviews later, she said, like, we did not pre-script that moment, but we did talk about it. I went to him and said, do you mind if we do this if we confront this on camera? And he agreed to it. And so neither of them said like what they're going to say. This is all according to Mary on an interview.
That was later though. Like, so we first saw him and I think the entire audience collectively felt like, oh my God, this kid's in trouble with drugs.
Yeah.
And then later she went into his room and they had the
it.
conversation
Yeah.
and that's what you're talking about now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And it was the realest moment I maybe have ever seen on these shows. It was super moving, and I am not moved by any fucking housewife. I wish I was. I'm just not. And
What about the
oh, well,
scene-
Teresa. I'm moved by Teresa on the rig.
in Miami, like season 2.
I didn't like Miami.
But when we were watching it, and the new husband, what's her name?
Oh,
They got in a fight with the one kid and
Frankie?
the brother, Frankie and his brother, and the new boyfriend, fiance.
at the
guy.
time it was the fiance. But
And
Todd had an
Todd.
argument. Is
And
weird.
she was like, "That was the realest moment I've ever seen in."
no, that
Housewives
was.
TV."
You remember that? Like, okay, I'm sorry, I don't know,
insult
because
me.
it was like long ago. Like it wasn't, like it's not from the new. Maybe
No,
kind
it
of
is,
Is it
'cause
from the
she-
new?
yeah.
Okay. I don't know. All I know is that I don't watch Miami at all consistently. We watched it last night because it was just rolled on
I
after
love
this,
Miami.
and I was like, I don't know, I don't get it, I don't care. So
Get out.
But that one scene was great. Anyhow, so the scene with Mary and her son, I thought was super helpful, super moving, and Mary's a fucking crazy person, and at that moment I'm like, she's a real person. Like
Yep.
and now I give her, it's like, she'll fuck up again really soon. Don't worry. But like as of right now, we cool because the new season hasn't aired yet. Anyhow,
I felt the same way. And can I just tell you in that, because I don't know if you remember in the finale, or not the finale, the reunion.
Yeah.
They obviously talked about it because it was
Yeah.
such a big part of the
Andy
season.
cried.
We were all crying. America was crying.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's because Mike has
I
a lump
wasn't
of
crying.
coal
You
where
didn't
his heart
watch it.
should be.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Mary said people had like DM'd her, written her, or
Yeah.
whatever, that like, you saved my life, your son, from him getting help, now my child has gotten help.
Yeah.
And that's what, and I get what you're saying or going to say, like, there is this part of me that I feel you on it. I just feel like also maybe in talking about it, it can normalize the stigma of being different.
Absolutely. It's not going to normalize it for him, though. He doesn't even know that she's playing his voice and his baby talk on speakerphone with the cameras rolling. And even if he did, he's too young to even understand what that means. And like, there's so many Housewives kids that are like coming out now and being like, it was an absolute shit show and it was never been the same for me. And I'll always have this stigma that people are like, think they know something about me from when I'm 15 or, whatever. People are always looking at me like I'm spoiled or like, and maybe I am, I don't know. But like, just that kid is too young to be playing his voice and then commenting on it like this is a medical problem, like that he is, and they don't even know if he's autistic yet. I mean, I feel like they're going through the process of like finding out. And as Brittany explains, like they make it a long process to find out because they don't want anybody willy-nillying a diagnosis, which is great. And so when she says words like, what's her husband's name? Shane and I will probably get divorced because we don't know how to parent this kid. We're fighting all the time about it. Like, so all we've ever been told is to tell your kids you are not the reason that your mommy and daddy got divorced. And now like she said those words, like she wasn't sugarcoating.
Sometimes you are the reason mommy and daddy get divorced.
It's true, but tell them later. Wait until they're of adult age.
No, that's such a good point. It's such a good point.
The kid is young, so I'm sure he's not watching the show. There's going to be a kid whose mom watches the show, and they're going to make fun of him, and they're going to call him, oh, you have an eating disorder? Well, he doesn't have an eating disorder. He has a problem with textures of food or the way things feel on his tongue or in his finger. Like, it's not... So an eating disorder is going to point to him that he's got he's trying to be skinny.
No, he does have an eating disorder.
Right,
it's just
but it's not
the typical
exactly.
way
But
that we
kids
define
aren't going
it.
to hear that.
Right.
They're going to hear, oh, are you anorexic? Are you trying to get skinny like your mom? Your mom can never get like. It's just going to. I don't know. I just think it's so many things, and like kids are cruel, and he's already has these issues, and like He's just too young. You know, I think what really spurred it was her putting him on speaker and letting everyone hear his baby talk when that's not how he normally talks to like anyone else. And it just rubbed me the wrong way. And I also think that Emily's a fucking bitch. And so like I'm already pissed at her because I just think when she kicked Katie out of her house, I think that is just.
That was wild.
That was
wild behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I wonder? Because so like you look at someone on the same show, right? Like Heather, because all of these people on these shows have their kids on. And I think some of them say exactly what you're talking about. And then I think some of them are like, no, now I make bank from doing stuff and it actually made my life. And so I think that most everything in life is what you make it, right?
Yeah.
So then you look at someone like Heather, who her kids have definitely gone through things publicly that not, you know, she didn't have just 4 straight kids that are, you know, navigating life in a quote unquote like normal path, even though I know there's no normal. Okay.
Yeah.
And one of her kids they don't talk about them transitioning, but clearly they say, you know, that this child's name was Colette and now they call them Ace, and they haven't necessarily commented on their gender, which I think is wonderful. And you keep everything private until you feel comfortable with it. But she did have a conversation with her middle daughter. Sorry, now I'm wondering if I mixed up the names, but it doesn't matter. With her middle daughter, who is a lesbian. And she had a conversation with her mom, I think like 2 seasons ago, just about saying like, oh, you know, I kind of wanted to like put up a pride flag. Is that okay? Or something like that. And even this season, she got into all these different colleges and she was like, well, I'd want to go there, but I don't know if I necessarily feel like I would be safe there. And again, I don't think Heather's a perfect person, but I just think like she's done it in a way that it seems like it's shed light on topics that should get airtime, and it doesn't seem like it has really messed up the kids. In fact, if anything, it's given them a great like strength to be like, oh, I said this, and look at this community that's rallied around me and people, whatever. Because there's always going to be haters, whether you come out in a small town and nobody knows you or you're on a massive television show. Yeah. There's always going to be people that disagree with stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's just interesting to look at, I think.
No, I want to say that like I obviously could be speaking out of my ass since I've never met any of Heather's kids, but from the outside, it would seem like they're all on board with this, and they're also older than.
But they weren't when the show started.
How young were they when she was talking about their sexuality? Yeah, how old were they when that happened?
The daughter who was talking about being a lesbian, like a few seasons ago, she was probably like middle school or high school.
Yeah,
maybe like 13 or 14.
This kid just seems to be a child. Yeah, he seems to just be. And I also don't even know if they've told him. Well, because again, they don't know that because it's not diagnosed or whatever. So I just see those as like 2 totally different approaches to the way. And I don't think that Emily has done nearly, again, I'm assuming because it's just what it looks like. If I had to take a guess, I would say that Heather and her husband probably had very well-rounded talks with them.
Boundaries.
And like what is cool with you, what is not. Like I don't know, but I guess that about Heather. I see her as that person. And I understand that that this is a fucking rough road for Emily. I think it is a very authentic story. I don't think she's drumming it up to have a storyline. No. Yeah. My feeling is that it is authentic. I just think no matter how authentic you are, it doesn't negate like that. I think that you're breaking the trust of someone who doesn't fully understand what's ahead of him and going to be put out there. I don't know. So it's going to be a no from me, dog.
Just to hit home your point, I am probably, I don't know for sure, but one of the nicest people. I make fun of nobody. Like, it's a strict rule that I have to not make fun of anybody. And when that voicemail came on, my first comment was probably the first time I ever made fun of a kid.
You made fun of him?
Well, I was like, is that kid a robot? Is that like an AI? Like, I didn't know it was her kid. I thought it was just a voicemail of like the walking the dog thing. And I was like, Is that a robot? Or is their kid AI?
Oh,
Like, I
because
was
he's
being
just sitting here
funny,
playing
but
his game and then catching things.
I want to walk dog. Or
It wasn't a voicemail.
weird.
He called and said,
Oh yeah,
to her,
whatever.
but it doesn't matter.
But him talking about taking the dog on a walk.
Yeah.
Was the first time I heard it. And
Listen, I think what you're saying is completely true. I actually agree with you completely. And I just want to say one more thing before we move on, because we love to beat a dead horse here.
Yeah.
I think the reason I didn't clock that is because when I'm watching these shows, I'm so keyed in on the women, and I would never fucking think that you would make fun of a child.
Yeah.
Like, no, in all seriousness.
I thought it was a robot.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know you weren't making fun of a child. I just would never think that. And I also wasn't a bully in school. Like, I don't believe in picking on people. I don't, whatever. And so my brain didn't even go there that would be an option. I just thought like, oh, how wonderful. Like another parent is going to see this and say, oh shit.
Yeah. Parents, I think she's like, if that's all we're looking at, I got no issue with that.
Yeah.
I think that she is normalizing something. And I bet you she's getting a ton of mail or comments or, whatever it is, tweets that are all like probably thanking her, just like they did Mary Cosby. So like, I understand all of that stuff. And I think that especially mothers need all the fucking support that they can get. I just am irritated at just this other.
No, and I didn't even think, it's such a good point.
Puppy.
Okay. Then the next, really like the rest of the episode is, the respective groups are going to Temecula, Beverly Hills. They're having a sleepover and we see what happens there. And then, that's kind of where the episode like gets left off. So let's just dive into both of these trips. I'm going to use air quotes because they're not really trips. I said at the beginning, I wouldn't have wanted to be on either of them. They both seem so miserable. And like, maybe if a gun to my head had to pick, I'm going to pick the Beverly Hills trip with Heather just because.
It's not even a trip. They live, this is here in LA. They all live here.
No, well, they live in Orange County. So that's a 2-hour schlep.
Okay, yeah. No, but it is funny how Gretchen acts like she's never fucking seen this before. You know where all the stores are. Like, well, Gretchen, have you never been here? Like, it's hard to believe.
No, they have, but like, I think Gretchen like lives and breathes Orange County.
Yeah, probably.
I don't really think she leaves that much.
It's only 45 minutes.
It's not 45 minutes.
Orange County?
No, to get
I feel like
from where they live.
Because I barely drive anywhere anymore. When I used to drive all the time, it was 45 minutes because it was 45 minutes. But that is no longer. The traffic has gotten so much worse from the time that I used to have to go there a lot.
I just drove to Anaheim the other day and it took me 2 hours.
We drove to Anaheim, it took us 45 minutes. Mike.
The way home.
No.
No, I'm saying for me, the way home at like 2 a.m, it was 45 minutes, but like during normal business hours, for me, it took me 2 hours.
All right.
Anyway, so if a gun to my head, I had to pick, I'm picking the Beverly Hills trip. It seemed just a little bit more fun. I when Shannon got to the house and unpacked pots and pans, like if that was my suitcase, I would have a panic attack. Just like the disorganization of it all.
But there are moments where I'm like, Shannon, it's time to go. You got nothing here. Like I don't know. And then I see Shannon being the most authentic person on this show. Like a person that gives a shit about how they're coming off isn't answering a FaceTime with no makeup, isn't bringing an entire suitcase of broken pasta and pots and pans and a kind of blender that I've never even heard of, but I don't cook, so
Emulsion blender.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh my God, it's the best ever.
It's that little thing that's in there.
Just use one
I guess we
yesterday
have one.
to make my.
That's what I just said. We have one.
Oh.
Wait, can I?
It's nothing to write home about.
Oh my God, are you kidding? An immersion blender is like one of the best kitchen tools you could ever have. There's certain things you can't make without an immersion blender.
I don't make a lot.
But no, I'm with you. She is who she is. She will show up polished, slopopotamus, or anywhere in between, and I live for it.
Yeah.
And you need that on the show.
No, that's always my favorite part about any fucking person on these shows, because so often, because we're deep diving everything, you can't help but notice when someone, after you've been watching them like with a microscope for as long as you have them because of the work that we do here, the hard work, then you can't help but notice when people are being just fake as fuck. And Shannon, like, I can't remember the last time I ever said like, that's not real. Like, Shannon, you get what you see.
100p.
Yeah.
100% authentic.
Yeah.
And I will say, my favorite parts of all of these shows is like the genuine laughter that I get from them.
Yeah.
Like some of these broads are fucking funny, whether they mean to be or not. Like Nene knows she's funny, and I know she's not on anymore, but like Phaedra knows she's funny. Shannon, this was just a funny moment that Shannon had. I don't think she was actually trying to be funny, but I laughed out loud. I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
If I was on a trip with someone and they brought this, I would be pissing myself.
Yeah. Mike asked, I don't know what part it was when this happened, but he goes, so is this woman, Shannon, like the Kathy Hilton of the group? And I'm like, there is no other Kathy Hilton. Let's be clear about that right now. Like that is not a thing. There is one and only. But if you were looking at like, as someone who doesn't watch the show and has just seen parts of Beverly Hills and parts of this, to put them, they are the eccentric, I need a cracker. What do you have a Diet Coke? I need this. I need like, just like, don't care about eating the food and fall. They can barely walk. I love Kathy Hilton, like never can zip the back of her dress. I feel like half of her wardrobe is a unzipped dress with a jacket or a shawl over it.
She's literally brushing her teeth with a makeup brush.
Yeah. Yes. That is something Shannon would do.
100%.
She would forget her toothbrush, but remember the emulsion, whatever it's called, but would forget a toothbrush and then have to use her makeup thing.
That's a very astute comment from the novice over here.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Wait, just before we get into the Tamara of it all, because that's really like the meat and the potatoes at the end. Do you think when they were walking down the street in Beverly Hills, Heather and Emily and Gretchen, that paparazzi person was planted there by Heather to like close the loop?
1,000%.
I don't even watch the show. Had no idea what was going on, and I was like, well, this isn't real.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm not mad at it. I didn't actually even look at that as Heather being an asshole. I took that as Heather's in on the joke a little bit. Like it felt a little to me like two things. She either did it because she's in on the joke, or she did it because she actually does work night and day to present something. She is very specific. She works very hard at that. And we can talk shit about that. And there are a lot of people that do that like, I don't like the way that Tamara works to present something because it's fucking hateful and horrible and disgusting, and I hate it. Heather's not hurting anyone by like going.
Nobody.
Yeah. You don't get to be a highfalutin, high society rich bitch in Beverly Hills on a couple different shows all over the network, without doing the work to control your controllables and present those things. So like, I embrace all of her little isms because
So do I.
Yeah, I'd rather see her than Gina, this like middle class fucking housewife with like a house that Shannon's like, this is nice.
I'm starting to itch. Is that the pore rash?
Yeah. I feel like I said this to someone the other day. Oh, Alfonso sent me like a clip about the Housewives and how like they just aren't what they used to be, or like they're not like the Beverly Hills. I can't remember what it was exactly, but I was like, yeah, if I want to watch a middle-aged housewife, I just watch my own YouTube channel. Like I'm here for the stuff. Okay, show me the stuff. Give me the goods.
I don't think when they went to Chris Station, which I just thought was such an odd choice, like maybe that's where they could only get a filming permit.
Yeah, because it's been there forever. It's like the restaurant that will not go away.
But it's
not
also
that
like,
it needs to. I've never been there, but
I have.
I think I've driven by it probably more than I've driven by anything since I've lived in this town. It has been in the same spot since I moved here 20,000 years ago.
I have been there.
And it's good or not good?
It's not for me. How about that? It's just not for me. I don't think Heather is scared of Tamara.
Me neither.
I think Heather just deals with conflict differently than all of these other people. She has a very long runway until she freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like how when she was first on, she did lose it on Shannon. But even her losing it on Shannon wasn't in the way that a lot of these other women do it.
No.
And she called Tamara. She's like, let's go to lunch. Called production, said, tell Tamara to meet me at lunch. And they sat there and they talked about it. I don't think she's scared. By the way, he who makes the gold makes the rules. She who makes the gold makes the rules.
Yeah.
And she's not scared of anyone because she's the richest person on the show.
Yeah.
She knows she's getting invited back for exactly the reason that you just said, because she's the only one on the show that has real fuck you money.
Yeah.
And they need that element to the show because that's how they sell this show to people.
Exactly. I don't think that Heather's scared of Tamara. I think that the other girls are. I think that there is something where a lot of like the group as a whole, including Heather, don't want to go there with Tamara. They just happen to be for different reasons. Heather's spot is secured. Like, they got to worry about her trying to leave to go to Beverly Hills. Like, so everyone else on there just knows that, like, if Tamara doesn't like you for long enough, like, you could very easily get edged out and not be back next season. So Heather's not going to let herself get wrapped up in the crazy. Heather has as authentic of a relationship as really anyone should have with Tamara, because it's just like, if you have a brain, you know that it's like, we go this far.
Wide berth.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't have anything to lose. I think that she is, like, she doesn't bring obviously the drama like Tamara does, and that is what is absolutely necessary for a housewife. I call her a little bit in more of a supporting role. I think that she very likely has just as much pull as, like, if Tamara wanted someone gone or Heather did, I think they could both equally get it done.
Yeah.
They're just different in what they bring, but they're both totally necessary.
No, I completely agree. And I also thought it was so shitty when Heather's saying, like, oh, you know, being back in LA, like, now I'm taking, you know, classes at the Groundlings or wherever the hell she is and doing all this stuff. Like, she's not dead.
Actors be acting.
Yes, let her go live her life. Like, when I was in my acting class, which I very much miss, but there's only so many hours in the day. Like, I like that there's people of all ages in the class.
Yeah.
You don't, like, just because you're 40 or 50 or 60 or whatever age you are doesn't mean that you're not creative anymore. And who gives a shit if it leads to anything? It makes her happy.
Yeah.
She's not hurting anybody.
No, and she was an actor.
Yes.
Like, she was for years and years. Like,
she really was. She had
I think she still does little things here and there, you know, whenever she gets hired.
I think so too. And I take real umbrage with this.
Yeah.
You think she does things when she gets hired?
I mean, when she has the opportunity, I don't think that she's out there fucking going and, like, reading for shit every day. But I think that when someone calls her, because she is a person of familiarity and whatever, and a lot of times that would work against you. Doesn't with her. People love having her on. She's professional. I think she's pretty good.
No, me too. When she did Hot in Cleveland, I thought she did a great job.
Yes, exactly. She was on Hot in Cleveland.
Yeah, she went back for multiple episodes.
And Betty White was on that.
Exactly. But this really gets my goat, because when people are like, you're not an actress, I don't know you. It's like, that is the most ignorant, like, statement to make about people in the arts.
You don't know dick about entertainment then.
Correct. Like, the fact that she had a show, a 1 hour that was picked up for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
That she was the lead on.
Dude, do you know how many people are here dying to get even their pilot shot? Yeah. A 2-season 1 hour? Like,
yes.
You've made it big time.
Yes. So at any rate, I just thought that was so fucking rude. It's like, you went, Tamara, and did your fucking bodybuilding shit.
Yeah.
And everyone
forgot
came and
about that,
supported
you
you
weirdo.
and let you bring your boiled chicken everywhere and then gave you a donut tree when you finished first place. Like, just support her. Or, like, maybe she wasn't going in so hard, but I think a lot of them had something to say where it's like, I don't remember her being funny. Like,
dude, everybody had a scowl face. And all that read to me through that entire group was like, you're all bitter about something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you're bitter, like, you want to make fun of her for doing that. First of all, I think that Heather's funny. So, like, sorry, Gina. I fucking do think Heather's funny. You're very funny too, but Heather's also funny, and she also is a fucking trained, skilled actor.
Yeah, agreed.
Going to do the things that make actors better. She's doing singing lessons. She's going to the Groundlings and doing fucking free shows there for the other people.
Yep.
And going to acting class. She has the time and the money to pursue these passions. Yep. What do you fucking care? And Shannon was Shannon was the only one that didn't have a look about it. She just, like, said, like, I think she's doing comedy now. And then when they're like, she's doing comedy, like, they all looking at each other like they can't even believe that this is, like, so offensive. They can't like, who is this woman to think she could do these things? Well, she's already been doing them for quite some time. And Shannon was the only one that was like, I think that's how I understood it. Only doing that because probably they look so put off about it. And I feel like I saw in her head where she was like, did she say that? Like, that was like a natural, like, Shannon's the only one that's not hating on somebody just doing whatever they fucking want.
Yeah.
God, it's such a bad look to see all those scowls and, like, shared looks of, like.
I was not a fan of that. It's like, oh, Gina, no one laughed at you when you wanted to become a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Like, let people live their lives. They're not hurting anybody.
And we all talk about, if you are going to do this thing, like Hillary Clinton said, I've been training for this job my whole life. Yep. It's a good thing to be prepared for a job. You want shitty actors and shitty singers and
also, I'm just happy. Like, I don't know how she is in real life. Do you know what I mean? But, like, I
bet she's lovely.
Yeah, let's go with that. I'm also happy for her because, here she is. She's raised 4 kids.
Yeah.
Like, all of her kids now are getting to that point where it's like, of course, you always need your mom, but like they're more independent. And now she's able to get back to this. She's been living in Orange County for however many years. She has been very vocal about the fact that, like, listen, did I afford a very nice lifestyle for my family and I wanted to be there, but like I missed being in LA and now she's back here and you got to imagine she's coming home from these fucking improv classes feeling invigorated.
Yes.
And like, oh my God, like telling Terry all about it, chewing his ear off. Like, and this moment was so funny and I felt so alive and it just feels so cool to like be back in the pocket of this shit. Like, let her fucking be, man.
Dude, it's so dumb. And all it shows is that people are just hating on her just because they are fucking miserable.
Yeah. And then we get to the hateration table with Tamara, where it's like, Tamara, don't just say I showed this picture because I was being fucking messy and I wanted to be petty because I was annoyed with you. So I showed everyone a picture where you looked very different than you are presenting currently. And the bottom line is I'm an insecure person saying like, oh, look, she wants to look like me. Tamara, everyone in Orange County looks like you and Jen.
Yeah. No, I was so glad that Jen, someone else in our comments, who maybe Danielle Warren, I can't remember. I'll read it later, but she said something about how like Jen like is probably in the moments that it looks stupid, she's playing stupid because she just doesn't want to get involved in things and it doesn't want to be the reason for whatever. And that she actually, every time she does speak up and say something, she is very calm. She reads people in a very calm, but like organized and like darting way. Like she gets it all out. And I was so glad to hear her stand up to Tamara and say like, I think you don't like who I am now. I think you actually liked me better then. I think you're very insecure. I think that photo made you feel a certain kind of way that you needed to feel. And Tamara's just getting like just fucking so fired up. And it's just always so nice to see someone who is calm, cool, and collected as someone who never is like organized in those things. Like I see that and I'm so envious and it's like an inspiration to me, but also to do that in a moment against Tamara Judge is like good stuff.
Yeah. No, I thought she handled herself so well.
Yeah.
And also, in the coming attractions for next week, when they are in the car and Gretchen says, oh, that's when, wait, sorry. There was a huge thing that we totally skipped over that I wanted to just.
God forbid we skip over a thing.
Well, yeah, because we deep dive. Sarcasm City. Shannon so nonchalantly, like she was saying like, oh, did you paint your toes red, Natalie? She was like, I don't know why Tamara has such a problem with this because she was cheating on Simon. God. With Eddie, because Tamara had an affair. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Because it's been speculated many a time, but it's never been talked about. Like, yeah, she said she was having, like Jen owns, and I respect Jen for that.
No,
Jen
I know.
said,
Jen has never seen, I feel like we've known exactly about Jen from the get. We've known about all of her financial woes. We've literally seen her be with her parents and crying to them and like her father, like bailing her out again. But her being in what I felt like it was an authentic scene where she was just like, you guys shouldn't have to do this. And here I am a fucking in this place in my life. I don't know how I got here. Or I think she might've even been like, I put myself here because she did step out on her husband. I don't know what kind of guy he is because I don't watch the show every season. So I don't know, like if he deserved that or he had to come in.
We know
or
very
like,
little.
I don't know.
She just said it was kind of like at the end, really a loveless marriage, and like they weren't having sex anymore, and like she could never get his attention to just be like,
oh, that's right. He was literally gone all the time. And she just felt like she was living a life on her own.
Yeah.
Tamara's always said, I left Simon for Eddie.
No, she didn't say that. She's always said, I left Simon and like 3 weeks later, I met Eddie. She's never said, I left Simon for Eddie.
I think she did just in the last episode or two where she says, I left Simon for Eddie, but trying to make it as if like I didn't cheat on him. But apparently she did because we are finding out that she did. But I think that she's trying to make it so as like, right, I did cheat on him, but I am now with the person that I cheated with. So like this was all meant to be happening. Like I didn't just like cheat willy-nilly. I made a decision to leave my relationship to like, that's how I think she's trying to make her cheating different. Is that like, well, I made mine count.
Well, then so did, if that's the logic, so did Jen.
Jen
cheated on her husband with Ryan, and now they're getting married.
With Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know that. So they're literally in the same exact.
But that's why I'm so not confused because I believe that I believe what Shannon is saying is
Yeah,
correct. It just fell right out of her mouth. Like we all know it. Like, oh, Tamara has blonde hair and Heather's a brunette. So I don't know why we're talking about hair color. Like it was so matter of fact.
Yeah.
That I was like, did I miss something?
Yeah.
And then in the coming attraction, Gretchen said, oh yeah, that's when she slept with, and then they blurred it out. And I'm just wondering if that blurred out name was Ryan.
Right. When she was trying to make Jen feel shitty about like how she's changed so much. And now she is like trying to insinuate that she only did it for either to look like her or because, well, I've always heard that, what's the dude?
Ryan likes figures with big boobs.
Tits on a stick.
Yeah.
Tamara, you're kind of tits on a stick. Like, did Tamara used to have bigger boobs?
She's, her and Dr. Ambe have a very long history of like, they're in, they're out, they're bigger, they're smaller, they're out, they're up, they're down.
And I think that she also stopped. I think that she ended up getting at one of her pissier moments with Jen when because I think she kind of liked Ryan or thought that Ryan was paying attention to her. And it turns out that Ryan was really paying attention to Jen and started that whole thing. And I think that, God, Tamara, like, how pathetic are you? Stop it. Like, you could literally have anything. You really could fucking have anything. Someone else doesn't have to do without for you to do with, you know, like it doesn't.
I don't know. I need clarification before.
Because that is just me putting pieces together.
Yeah.
It's not like she has, but like
no one's owned up to any of this.
Yeah. But Jen has said in the past that Tamara actually was the one that fucking noticed Ryan and was like, oh, should I hook up with this guy or whatever? And if that's true, then that makes so much sense as to why their relationship has gotten to where it is. Because if you were down for that, then that would mean that a guy fully chose your friend over you. And
or even
nobody
worse.
likes that. Listen, nobody enjoys that, but like it's all how you deal with it. You fucking went for her after that. If that all happened. Okay, let me just see a couple of things that I forgot. Just one thing about the penthouse. What the fuck are those beds? Why is there 3?
Oh, because she hired a company to come in and set all that up.
Oh, just for the sleepover?
Yeah.
That's money. Don't worry about production. I'm not going to bill you for any of this. I've got my guy here. He's probably a live-in. She probably like has a live-in interior decorator. How other people have like
party
nannies.
There was a girl there, sleepover consultant.
Yeah.
I'm being dead serious.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, she was in the episode.
She hired a sleepover consultant?
Like most of the time they do like kids parties.
Oh.
Where it's like they set up the whole thing for
girl
sleepovers.
Was a kid. She was, I bet she couldn't drink legally.
How did I miss that? What should also just set the tone of Tamara's trip was just, we talked about it a little at the top where she's with her daughter in the closet getting ready to go on this trip, telling her about it. Like Tamara's basically like patting herself on the back, like for inviting Shannon to begin with. And like, and I even got her a gift. Do you remember this? What the gift was? It was a book. How to Not Be a Miserable Cow. Like that's your gift.
But like, don't even bring that.
Don't bring that. And you gotta pick a lane. You're either so generous and so humble and so meek, and you're just gonna take it on the chin, and everyone's blaming you for everything. But that's okay. You just want these friendships back in your life, and you're willing to like acknowledge your part here, and just
right
let
your
them
wrongs.
Right your wrong. Let them be mad at you, you know, and just like. Kill them with kindness, offer them the main suite, offer them wine and dine and fucking whatever else you got in your bag for them. And her daughter literally says, you can't help yourself from being petty and passive aggressive. This How Not to Be a Miserable Cow self-help book is diss after diss. It's saying you're a miserable human and you're a bitch you can't see. So here's some big old letters for you. Like there was not much more of a conversation had. Like her daughter went straight into that. And like, and her daughter, this particular daughter and her have a great relationship.
Yeah.
She loves her mom very much. She's gone on later to say things like, oh, if only people knew you. Like this was like in the last couple of weeks, like people have such a crazy version of my mom and whatever. So I think that she totally loves her mom and like wants her to be treated nicely and like wishes that she saw the other side of her. But she clearly knows like all of that was back to back to back to back. You're petty, passive aggressive, and you're giving a book that says, fuck you, you're an idiot who can't read and miserable. And maybe just don't give her diss after diss.
No, that's funny.
So
Don't
much
give her
that I
diss.
just like go back all the time. Like, is Tamara just is she leaning into this role? Is she like, because it would be so cool to find out that this is all a show.
Right.
That Tamara just knows that this is how shows work. This is what makes people, what riles them up or what satiates them or what keeps them calm or keeps them pissed or keeps them reading the blogs and looking at the TikToks or coming back in and having the conversations. Like if she just knew all those things and was like, and I'm down to sacrifice myself for this, and then I go home and I have a completely separate life, separate friends, great relationship with my family. I'm funny, I'm generous, I do everything for my children. Like that would be so great to find out. I don't think we
I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
I would love to find that out. I do not think that's the case. I think something triggers her. And when I say something, like whatever it is each season, and she gets like horse blinders on.
Yeah.
And all she can do is just beat a dead horse to whatever it is she feels like, however she's been wronged, someone's lying. And this is the thing. And I said it last week about Tamara. She's not always wrong.
No.
In the sense of like, Brooks was a degenerate that Vicky shouldn't have been dating. Like, I'm sure there's other things I can't think of off the top of my head right now, but like where she's been taking a side and it is the right side. It's the delivery, man.
It is. And it's also, you've never proven to us that you had any good intentions for anyone for a long time. I'm sure if I went back into old episodes, I would see good intention towards Vicky now and again. And I know that she has really cared about people, but her track record is so shitty that we will never first believe that you are coming here and speaking this truth to this person because you really give a shit about them.
Yeah.
It's all just about to elevate yourself or like to be able to yell at someone. She just really enjoys yelling at someone. And I would say, like, who broke you, Tamara? Like, I would ask that, but I just don't care anymore. It's gone on for too long.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who broke you. And you know what? I don't even need to ask that question because you, I'm sure, have already spent all of your days, any alone time that you have or with your therapist to find that person to blame. She's real great at the blame game. No one needs to help her. So that's why I'm not asking her.
But you know what's crazy? What's the emoji with the exploding head? That was me when I learned. She just started going to therapy within the last year. Like, how are you a 50-year-old human
crazy
being
lunatic
who has gone through so many traumatic things, right? You know, she talks about stuff that she's gone through in her childhood, her parents' divorce. She isolated, like how her child has really isolated her, which I think has to be just the most painful, horrific thing to go through. But she said, she goes, the irony of this is I did this to my dad and she didn't talk to her dad for years, iced him out. And then her divorce and then being a really young mom. And I guess the dad wasn't really, I think Ryan's dad wasn't really around, but I could be mixing that up with Vicky's first husband, Mike. Anyway, point being is, then when Simon and her get divorced, Simon gets very sick with cancer. Then her daughter stops speaking to her. Like, how have you gone through all of this? And at any of these times, you didn't think this, or someone didn't say to you, like, hey, do you ever think of going to therapy? And you thought, that's a good idea. I should go.
Yeah.
Like, what? I have a singular bad day. And I'm like, I really like to speak to someone.
I know. I personally think that she finally got into therapy because she just had season after season after season of just being the asshole every time. And like that people just didn't, it's like how people cheat on their spouses and then go, I'm a sex addict. I'm going to therapy or I'm going to rehab for sex addiction or whatever. Like everyone's going to rehab when you're in the spotlight for a very specific reason. I'm sure that some of them are genuine, but I think that many are not. And so that's why I think she's actually in therapy. What also
buy herself some time.
Yeah. Like the first thing Shannon does when she gets off the phone with Tamara, she has to call her therapist.
Yes.
Like if you're the person that's still like, I don't even know if you deserve therapy. Like if you're causing other people to go to therapy, it's just, oh my God. And also, why is her daughter still not talking to her? Like after all this time, she still is like putting out statements being like, I don't want my mom to talk about me. She does not care. I told her I have these boundaries. She did it anyway. She doesn't care about respecting what I wanted, which was to not be talked about on the show. And still to this day, Tamara is going, and my daughter, I don't know what's going on with her. She's still not talking to me. Bitch, stop talking about her. And like, maybe she will talk to you. Yeah. Tamara, I just am so up to here with you, but then the show wouldn't be on and we wouldn't be sitting here. Okay, what else did I forget in here? Okay, at Crustacean. Like, I love when Emily says, like, Jen asked me if you pacify Tamara. And then Heather's like, what was your response to that? And she's
I don't think she said pacify. Didn't she say if you're afraid of her?
Her first thing was, Jen asked me if you pacify her. And then Heather says, well, what did you say to that? And Emily goes, I can't remember. I think I might have said that you maybe did. You cut to the scene. It's Emily just going, so Heather totally pacifies Tamara.
Yeah.
Like it was her words. Like Jen didn't ask her or Gretchen or whoever it was. Like you just offered that up.
And you knew in that moment, Emily knew what she said. She just didn't want to be forthright.
Totally. I mean, she gave a look that I almost respected because it seemed a little bit like it was for the camera, where she was like, like just like,
maybe you should be in those acting classes with Heather.
Yeah,
Emily, because I did not buy it.
You feel like you should hear like a laugh track in the background, like and like going like close on her face. Coming out of my door.
Do. Mike's at the Regal Beagle right now.
I wish.
What are you doing?
Looking for food.
Both of these trips were just so mishmashed. I just said, whatever you want to say, just dump it all in now. So we're there, but anything that happened on these trips, dump it here.
Okay.
Are you going to bring up how funny it was when Shannon fell?
Like from bringing the kitchenware to having zero ability to control her snot from drenching her friends in the back.
I was crying laughing.
Like how much snot can you have? And like we saw the glasses like with, like splashed with something. Like how much snot can you hold? That it's like flying.
Like on trips past, she's bringing like neti pots and like saline solutions. She's always like, I have this cough. I have the fit. Like,
do you remember when she was constipated
and thought she lost the tip of the thing in her anus, but she didn't? From Dr. Moon. Do I remember?
No one would do this who is trying to present in a certain way.
Yeah.
This is the realest bitch on Bravo.
Which I love.
I fucking love it.
It's why I have such a soft spot for her.
Yeah. She can't even walk. Like, not only does she fall, they can't even pick her up.
And she fell on nothing.
Yeah, she fell on nothing.
It was so great.
Like, I understand that, like, they're walking on dirt, but she did not have stilettos on like some of the other girls had. She had on a big, fat chunk heel.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a vineyard, so it's all very manicured because that's how it has to be. And she just, like, falls over. I thought that she ripped her pleather pants because I would have.
Yeah.
Like, that
she was in one piece. I loved last year when Alexis Bellino goes, there's the door, Shannon Bador. And she goes, we're outside.
Yeah.
I just was like, good one, Shannon.
I know. And then Shannon has no tooth right here. And she's
oh
like,
my God.
She's like showing it. She's like, look. And they're like, you're proud of that. And she's like,
she's like, I lost my flipper, which are like the things they use in the pageants.
I've never heard that used for anything but pageant girls.
And then she's off in La La Land telling some story about her dog in an avocado pile.
Yeah.
Like, what? It was so great. Shannon never changed, never leave the show.
I know. Back to Tamara and Gina. And Gina brings up, like, I think that Jen is still pretty pissed about, like, the fat photo and whatever. And Tamara's acting like, hey, can't believe anyone's so mad about that. It happened 72 hours ago. Get over it, you know? Like, get a life, you know? She tries to act like, a fat photo? What? Well, that's how, when Heather explained it to me, Heather actually explained it much nicer than how Tamara actually said it.
And how Gina relayed it, unfortunately, because Gina said it was a fat photo and Heather was just like, it just isn't how she looks now.
Yeah.
And she just was saying whatever, like that she wants to be me. She wants to quote Dina Manzo, skin me and wear me like last season's Versace.
Yeah. But the way that Tamara was just like, that's so unfortunate that Heather would say that she would relay. You did say that. Like, you probably said worse. And like that, like, even if Gina relayed it wrong, Heather relayed it wrong, but nicer. Like, it's just like, you did this. Like, how are we? And she's like, God, everyone blames me for everything. Well, who else would be to blame for saying a rude thing?
Yeah.
but the person who said the rude thing. Like, she just is living on another planet.
There just also was no good reason to bring that photo out.
No, it was so gross. It was so gross.
So Jen, listen, one, everyone takes a bad picture. Two, she didn't look, I don't know. It's like, it's not like she was about, I don't want to say anything mean. I just feel like
she had some kids. She was a stay-at-home mom. She looked like, honest to God, most stay-at-home moms would be fucking thrilled to look that way.
Yeah.
And listen, we all had a sky top at some point, okay? Like that happened. She lives in Orange County. I feel like they originated there probably.
Same.
They're very Orange County. Every bitch on that show has had those stupid fucking
I think
shirts.
it was more of like a peplum top, but it doesn't matter.
Like
The
it just
point
looked like
is
one of those things where it's like
jugs and then
kind
fabric.
of yeah. And I bet you if we rolled the fucking tapes back, I'm sure Tamara had 100 of those. So
1,000%.
yeah.
With the turquoise beading and all that shit. Yeah. It's just, you were showing it to be shady and messy.
Yeah.
Period. You wanted to get back at her. You were irritated with her, yada, yada. And you showed the photo. She always does this. Remember how she was just like, Jen has my old, where's my old extensions?
Yeah.
It's like, no, they were at how Jen told the story.
Yeah.
And it sounds more believable. And Jen has been so forthright with us. Why am I going to think now that she's lying about something as dumb as hair extensions? She's like, I didn't work them in your old hair extensions into my weave. I fucking put them up to my head and we were joking around.
Yeah, this is what I loved about it. And Tamara fell right into it because Tamara starts telling her that story. You know, I did think it was weird because you were wearing my hair. And Jen goes, how did you hear about that? And Tamara goes, you told me. Like just thinking that she's going to bust her right there. Yeah. And Jen goes, exactly. I told you the story, how funny it was when I went into the salon that you had coincidentally just left. And they said, hey, you want Tamara's hair extensions? And she goes, oh, that would be hilarious. She clips them in, takes a photo. Isn't this funny? Like that this, I clipped in Tamara Judge's hair extensions, took them out and then had her hair appointment. Did not leave with like, it just, she told you that story, you stupid cunt. Like, God, why are you so horrible? She told you a funny story and like you've forgotten because you're just so obsessed with finding something to be like, can you believe this?
And then crafting
asshole?
A little bit of a narrative around it.
Tam Cracker. Like she just wants people to take her apology and go, oh, okay. Well, I guess everything that I've ever felt and all the horrors you've put me through. And I don't even like Gretchen, but even when they're at the beach last week and she's like, why can't you just let it go? And Gretchen's like, I'm not going to just let go of all the things that you have done to hurt myself, to hurt my partner, sort of husband, and our family. Like and finally she does end up just saying, well, I'm not over it, but I'm going to get over it, or we're going to move on from this. And like, if you don't just let Tamara have her way, then like all of a sudden she's pissed at you. Like none of the things that you did mattered anymore because she's trying to apologize. Well, an apology doesn't really mean dick all unless like it's followed by like some reinvention. Yeah, like just maybe don't do that again. But when like you're apologizing for calling someone a bitch and then being like, I'm sorry, you stupid bitch. Like that's basically like how she apologizes. All that Jen wanted to do, which anybody has a right to, not only do they have the right to do it and they are owed this, but it's the healthy thing to do, is get it all out right then and there. If the topic is up, just say, why did you do that? Because that was really low and that really hurt me and that made me feel blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. And the second that like even a second question comes, Tamara can't believe that this is happening. Why would you do this? Why are you living in the past?
Now
Why are you holding the grudge?
The victim.
Now she's the victim and it's all negated and she just freaks out. What do you want me to do? Draw blood? Like just like that's fucking crazy how you just went from laughing and being like, oh, will you like me again? And now you're straight up raging bitch.
Oh, I can never win.
Yeah, I can't
you're
win.
You're always going to be mad at me. And it's like, the body's not even cold yet. Like, can we let some time pass, some healing happen?
Yeah, for 1 minute. Like, just let her ask her questions and I go, and say, I don't know why I did that. I was feeling a little bit like whatever. Jen is just looking for a reason to not feel like a fucking idiot when she accepts your apology, because she knows you're going to wake up again tomorrow morning and do it. So she's just looking for a little bit of like, we do understand. Like, I've said before, like I don't like hold on to like, when Mike and I have an argument, like I'm not holding on to the argument. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but like, I do feel like if I am upset about something and I never really feel like he can accept like why I'm upset or like the thing, like you don't even have to say like that you're sorry for it, but just to be like, oh, I could see how you would feel, like something acknowledging that like this made me feel this way. It was awful feeling this way. I would love to never feel that way again. And like he doesn't have to say I was wrong in that, but he might want to say, I'm going to try to make that never happen again. Or I don't want you to feel that way or whatever. So if we never think that they understand what the problem is, then we are going to hold on to it because we're all fucking scared shitless. It's going to happen again. And you remember that feeling. You don't want to keep feeling it. Tamara doesn't allow anybody to feel any confidence about her, the forgiveness and the moving forward and whatever. And so when Shannon finally lets it all out, I felt like she'd been holding it in the entire trip. She was like, Tamara would say things to her and she'd go, it makes me really uncomfortable. Like she was just so like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go there. I'm not going to get roped into this. I'm not going to have this conversation for the upteenth time. And she just let it all out. And I thought it was so great because then it does spur Tamara to get sloppy and say to Jen about, well, we didn't like Ryan because Simon and I had just been with you and your husband the week before, and now you've got a new boyfriend. It made us feel really dirty. And for Shannon to just be sitting there like, what are you talking? You did literally the same thing. So then Shannon finally just says, like, you will never know how badly I was hurt all last year. Like, that was horrible. That was awful. And I don't know if I will never forget that. I will never, and as she shouldn't, like
she went in on her. If you are worried that someone has a drinking problem, that ain't the way to go about it.
And as if that wasn't enough, you threw Gina under the bus and you used her words completely out of context to help your own pathetic, shitty argument. Even Gina is worried about you. And she's like, what? What do you mean? And Gina's just kind of like headlights, like, I worry about you or something.
But Gina said it in a nice way.
No, she did. But you know where that came from? This is Tamara, again, taking something totally out of context. When Gina said that she was worried about Shannon's drinking, Gina was saying it while she was confronting Tamara about Tamara's like pattern of inconsistency in dealing with Shannon. She says, you went after her all year for her drinking. And then in New Orleans, the first chance you get, you sneak her off, just the two of you, to get a drink. Like, and Tamara's first reaction isn't to say like, oh, I see how that could be like mixed messages and like counterproductive. No. She says, oh, so you don't think she's better either. Like shifting focus back onto Shannon being a drinker instead of her own part in this entire debacle. Tamara has the audacity to say, I don't want to go backwards. Okay, you love that. I don't want to go backwards, but like you did have, you would get really drunk and say some not so nice things about people. Well, Tamara, you wake up sober and say shit things about people all day. You've been doing it all day long this entire trip. And then Gina, she doesn't look to Tamara and go, like, that's diabolical what you just did. Like, you literally just threw me under the bus so that you could win this argument with Shannon right now. But she doesn't. She goes, well, yeah, I do. I am worried about I worry about you sometimes. Like, great friend to Tamara to do that, to let Tamara skate by on that. And
she should have said what she said to Shannon, just saying like, no, I do. You know, that because it did sound like she was coming from a caring place when she said that. Because you also have to remember when Gina got her DUI, Shannon was very helpful for her, and you know, with like getting lawyers and just being there for her. And then Gina wanted to kind of help Shannon through her situation, and so I think she is very closely linked to Shannon and her journey with drinking and all that kind of stuff. And I think she said it in a really great way. I just wish she finished it with, and that's fucking low for you to bring up, Tamara. Yeah. Because you know that's not how I was saying it. And Shannon, I have no problem explaining that to you when she's not around, because clearly she's not here for the right reasons. She just wants to stir problems up. And you'll see that because it's written on her hat the next time you sit down with her. Yeah. And I hope that I hope that after that scene and after the cameras fucking turned the other direction, I hope that Gina said, that's your one time. I will not
do that. Like, if you do that to me again, I will come for you. I wish that she had the balls to say that, because that's all I'm looking for in someone like Gina. That is the thing that will make me be.
Gina does stand up to her. Like, remember when they were in New Orleans?
Yes.
At that dinner.
Yes. No, that was great. It's just that Shannon was right in everything she had said. She was feeling shitty and uncomfortable throughout the entire trip. And she finally does raise her voice and say, you have a problem with this. And I just wish that Gina would have finished it off with like, and don't fucking try to pretend like that conversation didn't start out as me telling you fucked up.
Yeah.
And
no, I agree with that.
So I think it's interesting that Tamara, Heather, and Shannon are all now following Katie. None of them were, and now all of them are.
Following meaning like on social media?
On social media. I would say 90% of the audience is all Team Katie, because they're just tired of Tamara being an asshole, and they're tired. And then they don't like that Emily and Gina don't really bring anything really great, like don't like contribute a ton of like their life, or at least the life that they want to see, I guess. Yeah. That's the vibe I've gotten, that nobody is a fan of them. They're also not fans of them because of the way that they treated Katie at the thing. They all think it was a setup because they've all just like, done their homework. So I think that the OGs are feeling that temperature, and I feel like in past you'll see them all kind of like come to a reunion and do what is best, like for them to kind of redeem themselves. Like, I think that Tamara is going to come in with Katie, and Katie's going to be a fan favorite, and then Tamara's going to get in on the goods of that. I think that she's going to saddle up with her to kind of get that shine, and so that she looks like she's defending who everyone right now feels like is the underdog.
Yeah.
And then we're not going to like remember all the bullshit that Tamara does, because we're just going to be so happy that like Katie's got an entourage now, and it's all the women who actually control this show.
I'll remember what Tamara did. I'm not.
Oh yeah,
I the
will
jury's
too,
out with me right now on what I feel about all of them and the Katie of it all and all that stuff. I have not landed on a decision yet.
Katie brought, and there's comments like everyone in our comments, like there was one person that I'm like, yep, there it is. Like I could fucking study and study and study and then be like, what is it? And she just came and she's like, here's what happened. And I'm like, that's it. That's exactly what happened. So I'll read that one. You got any comments?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go?
Sure. Shannon Fall. Slade is such a slimy name. Has anyone seen Teen Titans? I haven't, just to answer your question. You can't trust anyone named Slade. I'm assuming there's a slimy Slade in Teen Titans. And then I was like, there cannot have been more than 50 Slades ever made in the history of the world.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Slades.
No, I don't think there is.
Yeah, I feel like it would be like an indie budget, like beach movie. There'd be a Slade.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of Slade Smileys.
I was going to say, what a wild first and last name, Slade Smiley.
Morticia, thank you for your concern. I'm afraid for Mike Mark. These ladies are awful. Not these ladies. The
Thank
ladies
you.
on this show. And this season is awful. I don't even watch, and I know that. They're all mean to each other, and the storyline is ridiculous and fabricated. Thank you for the warning, Morticia. Fishing gal, I think we're on to something. OMG, Mike, you may be on to something. We may be on to something. I didn't even put two and two together. If you go over that night and Ryan, it makes more sense, allegedly. Somebody else agreed with me, too. I can't remember who it was, but I'll come across it. Laura Cavers, I don't know what's going on with Slade, but he's giving Ned Flanders energy.
Oh, my God, that was really
That's
funny.
good.
Mary Akai Kent. These comments are amazing today. Well done, everyone.
I had that one also. I just thought, Mary, that was great.
Yeah.
I highly enjoyed them. Mary also, and Truth for Peace for Freedom, they think that the sausage could catch on. I think so too. If for those of you who missed it, if you're ever having to tell a story and you need receipts and you're listing all the links to all the receipts, that's called the sausage. Links on links on links. You get it. McFix and I are going to bond this football season because the guy who owns her team, the Cowboys, is a complete idiot. My team can't keep anyone healthy, and that sucks because she doesn't even know if she wants to watch Orange County. So when is Southern Charm coming on? First time I haven't watched OC, but I'm hearing Gretchen's return is crazy. Do I watch? I don't know. TV's hard. TV is hard.
Dude, I said to her,
Yeah, you guys had quite
I
the
pitched
combo.
and said, there's this one thing going on that is really lackluster because it doesn't, like, whoever ends up being the lying liar, like, is not going to be any more of an obnoxious character than, like, the other 5 that, like, won't be the lying liar. So there's really, like, there's nothing to come of this. And then, like, and then I get into, like, all of, like, the back and forth of just, like, all the TikToks and whatever. And I'm like, it does kind of, as someone who loves a conspiracy, loves to fucking decide, like, here's what I think happened, and going down the rabbit holes and entertaining, like, different things. I did find myself being like, oh, I can't, like, now I wonder if they'll talk about this next week. And I'm like, that's the sign of something people want to watch. I wonder. And so I literally got back on at like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, McFix.
Maybe tune in.
Listen, I never make recommendations. It's too much pressure. Recommends or unrecommends. Like, and now I feel like I could have gotten this wrong. At least let Courtney give you her pitch before you make any big decisions. And she goes, Courtney, let me have it. And you probably didn't get the message to see that you were tagged in that. I don't want to put you on the spot, but McFix is looking for a pitch to watch.
It's funny that you say that because I had that
Watch football.
Comment circled as well to talk about it. And McFix, this is I'm on the razor's edge right now. I don't know which way to go. I'm going to get cut either way.
I know.
I can't. I personally think Miami is fantastic this season. I think if you're going to dive into a Housewives show that is currently on, I really love Miami. I'm a sick fucking, I watch all of them regardless. Like, I'm a true fan. I'm the one. It doesn't matter. You guys haven't won a game in 18 seasons. You have the worst coach. I don't give a shit. I'm a season ticket holder, and I'm showing up with my gear, and I'm painting my face, and I'm excited for opening day. Okay. And I'm there in the dead of whatever where nobody's watching. If that ain't you, girl, then maybe just like wait for Salt Lake, which I have to say something. And I know we're covering it, and I'm thrilled because I watched them all. I only think Salt Lake got kind of good this last season with the arrival of the chick whose name I can't remember, Bronwyn. I'm not obsessed with Salt Lake the way most people are.
Dude, I kept thinking something's wrong with me because I thought that specific franchise, I thought they don't have anything of their own going on. It seems like every fight is about someone says, I heard that you went to this place and met up with this person to do this thing. How dare you? I just heard it. Yeah. Well, you got to go tell her now what you heard. No, I don't. I just heard it. I don't want to. No, you have to go. So everyone is in trouble for saying something that they didn't even originally say. It's all about someone else. Like, are there more people saying stuff out there? Then get them on the show. Like, I feel like that you have a whole other layer of people that seem to be the thing. Like, we're all, like, I don't understand. Like, it's so inconsequential. Like,
here's what it is. Now I'm remembering it now as you're saying all of this, because there have been moments like that on the show where it's just so many. But then you remember they have had a few wild moments. One of them is Jen Shaw and the whole trial and her going to jail. Like, that was really crazy to watch. And then there was this chick, Monica,
my favorite of the entire show. Monica and Jen Shaw are my favorites. Come for me. I don't care.
So
They're the realest bitches out there.
I really like Jen's crazy.
But like, I'm here for real crazy who's doing real fucking time. I'm a Teresa fan.
She stole money from the elderly.
Listen, I don't know if she knew.
She did. But like with Monica was very real. And then when it came out that she was the one who had the Instagram account and all that stuff, that was wild.
It was great TV.
That was great TV. Yeah. And that was also very real.
Yeah.
Like, if we're looking to capture these real moments. So and then with Bronwyn coming on and her relationship being wildly fascinating. And then like all the other women's responses to her, like, they've had these great moments. I just think like their lulls really lull me to sleep.
Yeah. They totally do. When Coco went on Nick Viall, I was talking to Harris about this other night, and I ended up emailing or DMing Coca at like 2 a.m. again, thinking she'll get it tomorrow. Nope, she's up. She replied right back, here it is. Coca went on Nick File, and they didn't tell her who else she was coming on with. And I thought it was really sweet. They like kept it from her to give it to her as a surprise because it was her birthday. So they're like, oh, here's a surprise. And so she gets on there and she's just waiting. And then they're like, and
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Wait, do we need to? Surprise!
Did you not tell Christina that Monica would be here?
No, I didn't. I kind of wanted to keep it as a surprise.
Hello. I'm glad it's I was concerned that it was going to be like with a one franchise I didn't watch.
She knew it was going to be someone from the Housewives.
Monica is just on here like yourself as a fan of Love Island.
Yes.
I love that. I was wondering, like, is there just like a Love Island fan housewife who's coming, or are we talking about
Yeah,
Housewives?
we went on Cameo and asked Monica to join us. I don't know when your birthday is, but go ahead, Monica. Sing happy birthday.
We got that for you, Christina.
And Coca's like, like it was just so
That's so
adorable to
cute.
watch Coca be like, hi.
That is very
That was
cute.
so sweet. I'll send it to you.
That was how Lala felt when she got to meet me on her birthday when she came to AGT last week.
That's exact. She Instagrammed it.
You're welcome, Lala. Are you guys done? Can I get back to my comments?
Yeah, you can go.
Harris, having spent many a Christmas in Costa de Casa with my extended family, and if you like Spanish style cookie cutter homes, it's chic. C'est la vie.
The way you just said that sounds like you've been somewhere.
Chic,
I
c'est
mean-
la vie.
C'est
C'est
bon.
bon. C'est bon. It's a reference to a New York City housewife, Countess de Lesseps.
You lost me.
Lesseps.
You lost me at
Her
Housewives.
song.
It's literally every Orange County live, love, laugh, stay at home mom's wet dream. And he is a hundo right on that. Last one I have from Shannon. Shannon's husband and I found out that we are going to be best friends one day. The first time I hung out, I'm not 100% sure why she told this story, but I'm glad she did. The first time I hung out with my now husband, I went over to his house and he was doing BMX tricks outside. It's a vibe. Hell yeah.
I can't come up with a reason why you would bring that one up. Oh, because it's about you.
Did I talk about doing BMX tricks?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Okay.
Julie Brown said, I'm loving hearing you all cover Real Housewives of Orange County. You're the only podcast I have heard so far that is peeling back the layers of what is going on. It's refreshing to hear a breakdown that just deals in facts instead of, quote, Tamara bad, Katie good, end quote. I mean, that may be true, but you all gave us a dissection of what we saw and really provided food for thought. You guys are my favorite podcast by far. I'm loving the Housewives takes. Thank you so much for seeing us, for watching our first Housewives take. And I like that it's translating, like our deep dives are translating to this. That just made me feel good.
And I loved that comment because that's all we want to do is just provide. Like, every time that I'm like, it takes me forever to come up with anything that I say because like I'm just trying to say something that you maybe haven't heard somewhere else and whatever. All that said, all the things that we were diving into about like the show being responsible, there being an NDA, there being like, these are just, I just want to clarify that these are just me trying to put pieces together as to like why this is happening because we don't know the answers. So I just want to say that like they are just speculation of mine. Like I don't take any of them too seriously.
Unless she's right and it comes out. Then you can take
I'll
them
be
all
like,
seriously. I told you so. Natalie Tallulah said, please stay covering OC. The lie detector was fake AF, but who was behind it? I hope Katie comes back next season. Gretchen, who I used to like, is clearly a fibber. And I used to like Gretchen also, and there's something not sticking for me this time around. We'll get to the bottom of it once we get to the bottom of it, if we ever get to the bottom of it.
We'll get to Colleen's comment, and then you might nail where, well, you might speculatively nail where it went wrong for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
A Mandy J said, I think what's all driving us mad is we know we'll never really know what the truth is. We'll never actually find out or be able to trust whatever answer we are given. I think everyone has lied and lied convincingly, and this concludes Kiki Monique. And I think that nailed it for me. It's like, that's why we're also fucking frustrated with this, because it's like, I keep referencing that season of Real Housewives of Atlanta at the reunion when we really, in real time, figured out like this is what happened. This is who lied. I'm sorry. This is wrong. You're not coming back to the show. Like, we're just never going to get that here. Patrick Boren said, I date back to the beginning of the Real Housewives of Orange County. I eventually moved over to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I differ in that I was over Vicky in a big way. She annoyed me substantially. I can't say I watch any of them. Messy. How about moving Slade up to the Valley to hang out with Jesse? And I just thought that was fantastic. Like, because he's so thirsty. Like,
Slade is Jesse in 30 years or like whatever. But it's probably not 30 years. It's probably like 10 years.
Yeah,
like.
exactly. Which Slade does look great for his age.
Yeah. I also was very much on that page. While watching Vicky, I hated Vicky. It is like now in retrospect, you're like, those were the golden years. And so I appreciate what she did in the era that she did it. But I hated Vicky while she was doing it because she was just always so annoying and controlling and obnoxious and like
Also,
just
so hypocritical.
And just like she was going to tell you. And like that
Who
was
brings a family van?
Yeah, it was all just like, oh my God. Like if that's not your mom, like you want a Vicky as a mom because she's out there and she's going to beat everyone up for you. And she's going to make sure that you get in there and like this girl doesn't get the thing that you like. That would be awesome. If you are not a child of Vicky's, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you fit her in your life. Yeah, tap out.
KRSLP said they all lied to damage the other person. Now when it all comes back up, they can't admit they lied, so it makes no sense. Again, all of you guys nailed it in like weird individual slivers of like different takes. Like, you know when something happens in pop culture and everyone's posting about it online and so you end up in the comments sections a lot? I'm always just so elated to be like, wow, there are really funny people out there. Or that is a very astute comment.
Yeah.
Because you end up reading so many of them. And that's how I felt when I was in our comment section this week because everyone nailed a different slice.
Yeah.
So well.
Yeah.
HGIN Philly. I don't know what that means, but Natalie, maybe you could tell me because I always get these wrong. I feel like I'm playing the license plate game and I'm terrible at this. It doesn't matter. Don't worry. They did a lie detector. Oh, I thought this was fascinating because I forgot this. They did a lie detector test because Katie said she would take one when they were in NOLA or something like that. That's how it all started. Katie just didn't know Emily actually arranged it.
Yeah.
But she did say, I would take a lie detector test. Yeah. Interesting. Karen Ayers said, I don't understand why the woman who looks like Julia Roberts keeps glossing over the fact that Gretchen has said more than once that she went to the hospital the next day. You keep saying she only said it once and it was kind of trailing off. I'm tired and misspoke, kind of telling the story. No, 3 exclamation points. That heifer lied. They are all liars. Gretchen can't seem to keep her lies straight. I find that most Bible-thumping, middle-aged Christians who dress like, okay, well, I'm not going to say the rest of this because that's really harsh. But point being is, I'm not saying I've watched this multiple times. I'm not saying that I missed it. I was just, my response back was, can you tell me when she said it twice? Because I really only remember her flubbing the one time, and it was when they were in the back of the van that she said that mishmash of like, kind of, I went to the hospital.
If someone says, did you go to the hospital? And you say, no. And then they go, you said no in the car, but it was yes. Oh, I misspoke. That's believable. A yes or a no, just like thinking you heard the question wrong or I answered too quickly or I was kind of drunk when we were talking about or whatever. But like the details that she gave in at least that specific one, like that's not a misspeak. Like that's you're either lying then or you're lying now and can't decide which one is going to work out better for you. But anyhow, I've seen people say she said it twice. I don't know where. We could go back and look. It'd also be great if you just told us which one it was.
Yeah, that's why I was like, if you got a timestamp for an episode, because I really genuinely only remember her saying it once. Yeah. And by the way, even if we're right and she did only say it once, she still could have been lying. So it doesn't.
Yeah, it's
irrelevant.
Yeah, almost. And none of us know was she lying that she did go or was she lying that she didn't go? Like, which one is it? Amen DJ says, now Kiki Monique has been on the Carlos King podcast. I just listened to it and Kiki said she'd never repeat what people tell her in confidence. But I had to tell another reporter because I am a true crime podcaster. She's on a serious show with, what's her name? Dorinda. Like, that's, is it true? I guess I've never really watched it, but I feel like
either.
The clips I've seen of it are not true crime, but I could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm a true crime podcaster and I need to find out if a crime has been committed. If a crime has been committed, it was against Gretchen and it's her choice what should be done about it, not Kiki's. So, okay. I didn't know Kiki before this, but I have now seen Kiki go on like 200 different podcasts and she's up in everyone's thing. Like, I got a feeling Kiki wanted to get a little play and now she's
playing.
And like I said, just last week, I was ready to get a new cat just to name the cat Kiki Monique. So like she's playing the game like anyone else. I guess like I don't fault her for that, but
No.
but it just I don't know how credible this bitch is at this point. Like she's just I'm not giving her any more weight as a journalist that I did before I even knew she existed.
Yeah, because I don't know her either.
Yeah,
at all.
And to say now, in case there was a crime committed, this was something that happened 15 years ago and now it's your duty. It feels like something that you came up with because you knew that you want to go on all these shows and they were going to ask you why you said this.
Yeah.
So it's like a backtracking like, well, because it's my duty as... Go ahead.
You said duty.
Bill Dindy says, I don't understand why everyone online is pro Katie after the lie detector test. It's just mind-blowing to me. They're all lying. I don't know why she is suddenly absolved of her lies when she lies in every breath. That last sentence just needs to extend to like, she's not absolved because of that. It's because they all lie. And I'm personally pissed and annoyed that they're making her lie seem so much more extravagant and like fire-worthy to than anyone else's. I don't like hypocrites. I don't like pile-ons unless you're Jax, pile the fuck on, you know, like, but like, I just don't think Katie deserved that kind of a pile-on. And it just seemed very contrived and calculated and like, yeah. And then the way I also just get annoyed because it seems like Gina and Emily are finding it too easy to just try to kick someone out on their butts. It's like in Troop Beverly Hills. We don't just kick our troop leaders out on their butts.
I love that movie.
Colleen Hamilton, she says, Gretchen and Slade were drunk at dinner and exaggerated naked wasted to a hospital visit and being roofied. Gretchen didn't know she would be able to get back on the show. So it didn't matter what she was exaggerating and lying about. Katie exaggerated it further when dishing with Kiki. Jen is dumb and doesn't pay attention to anything, and the things they talked about at dinner went in one ear and out the other. I think she legit doesn't remember. She probably couldn't tell you a single thing they talked about at Mastro's, not just this subject, but any subject. I always forget that this dinner took place before Gretchen was back on the show.
Yeah.
Like she hadn't gotten the offer. Gretchen's been looking for a fucking offer since she got her offer rescinded, you know? So like, she's out there just thinking, I'm going to tell these girls about Tamara. And I think that Slade is probably the one who really pumped it up and said something like that. Gretchen kind of goes along with it because why not? Like, who cares? Basically, and because someone else in the comments had mentioned, just because booze is legal, it doesn't mean that like it's still a thing that inhibits like,
it's still a drug or like
it is,
you know what I mean?
yeah. And so I think that he probably felt fine using a word like that or whatever. But Katie, to this day, still says she never said the word roofied, and that she also is standing 10 toes down that she didn't even talk about this with Kiki, which I just think is crazy because like that really fucks shit up then.
Well, then because Kiki came on the show and said that she did talk about it.
Yeah.
With her. So then it's like, how many people could possibly be lying?
Right. I just don't think that there's any reason for Katie to say this is all come out. This is all backfired horribly for everyone who has ever participated in any of them. I'm sure they all regret the Mastro's dinner. They regret meeting up with Kiki. They probably regret ever having any conversation. Like it's just blown up in a way. But I don't know, like at this point, why Katie is still so hardcore about saying, I never talked to her about this.
You know what would be so wild? If, let's just say that they go to the dinner at Mastro's, Gretchen and Slade tell that story that she did go to the hospital and Jen is completely telling the truth. And she did mention it to Kiki. And so she's telling the truth about the story, but she's lying that she said something to Kiki. Because then if all of it comes out, it's like, right, but then you're still a
lied.
liar.
Exactly. So that's why I cannot, but then in true Katie fashion, that would be something that would happen to her because she lies about weird things.
That's right.
For no reason.
Everybody, knows this. It's never the crime. It's always the cover up.
Yeah.
So it's like, you didn't actually do anything wrong in the sense of like, no, they told you that's what happened, but then you lied about who you told it to. And now you're just as wrong as everybody else. And this is why nobody believes you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But if she didn't, then why is any of this happening?
If she didn't tell it to Kiki Monique, then we have a whole other can of worms because why on God's green earth is Kiki on the show lying?
Yeah.
Because she could come on the show and say, no, she didn't say it. She would get airtime either way. It doesn't make sense.
Kiki is still saying, no, she talked to me about this. Okay. Danielle Warren says, I do agree. You can't have that many surviving souls living under one roof and your care without knowing up from down. We're talking about Jen, because this was a reply to a comment. Not to mention her children, from what we see, really do seem to be sweet, kind, happy, healthy, loved, and well cared for, minus the signing for loans bit that the dad apparently encouraged. I personally think the dumb thing is her poker face, and she's been giving the performance of a lifetime, bluffing and blankly blinking through it all. Either way, I love the calmness about Jen. This is what I was talking about earlier. Even when she is clearly at a 10, she's able to communicate and deliver with intention, and she's not over demonstrative or aggressive or over emotional in her actions and reactions. Now, I do think all the women tell mistruths, some omit, some embellish, and some straight up lie. They're not so fancy pants off for sport. But Jen, she just seems like a decent human who may skirt the truth a hair for the sake of peace or whatever the case may be. But she seems like a genuinely decent person who cares about the world around her when she notices it.
Yeah.
Slade is for sure, in my mind, the only reason any of this is happening at all. What a piece of work. And I totally
very well
agree
said.
about
Very
Slade.
well said.
Yeah. Jeanette Allen. I'm so glad you're doing this. I love you all. I've been watching Orange County since the beginning. I don't know why. I really don't. The young me would cringe at what has happened to me. I don't remember being in a car crash to cause brain damage, but hey ho, here we are. I haven't managed to watch Love Island. I've been watching the Trump saga, which I now found out is not an American comedy series. Rant over, but my Sunday is now complete that I get to listen to you three. Jeanette from Liverpool. Listen,
Jeanette, we love you.
I do, and I'm never going to get your accent right, so you're just going to have to take the hoity-toity.
Love us, flaws and all.
Yeah. Joe Schmo, this goddamn show. Oy vey, I'm sticking with the spicy Asian and her hubby, as her hubby refers to her. She's the only one with a consistent story, I think, and I'm sure Blondie and Sleazy were running their mouths about stuff and people that they didn't think would come out. And now what? Deny, deny, deny. It's classic. Totally true. KRSLP, the true story is Tamara and Vicky tried to embarrass Gretchen and kept giving her shots. Tamara probably put her son in the middle to catch Gretchen cheating on Jeff. Gretchen felt taken advantage of, and Slade helped up the game by sliding in roofied to aim at Tamara and Vicky. Thirsty Katie heard it all and spilled the beans for clout. Then Gretchen and Slade got cornered. Everybody did wrong in the name of TV, so they're all shitheads, and it was pretty great. That's just like another fill-in about like Slade's probably the one that said roofied.
Yeah.
But I love the ending. So they're all shitheads, and it's pretty great. That's what they're here for. Like, we have to remind ourselves. And I know I totally went off on Tamara this whole time, but I have a disclaimer. There would be no show without her. Yeah. Laura Cavers. Katie definitely lies, but Gretchen obviously told them she went to the hospital because it was on camera. I totes believe she told Katie and Jen that she thought she was drugged and hospitalized at that dinner, but was lying, which would destroy her credibility and make Tamara seem like less of the bad guy, which is why Jen is protecting Gretchen. The funny thing is that regardless if she was drugged or not, Tamara and Vicky behaved diabolically. They intentionally worked to get Gretchen blackout drunk and sent in Tamara's own son in the bathroom after Gretchen with the intent on getting her to cheat on her husband. In an incapacitated state. Consent cannot be given when a person is intoxicated. So in essence, she got set up to potentially get SA'd. Bravo should try to cover this up and cover their asses because it's highly problematic. Also, all the ladies lie. Lie detectors don't work. And the dude that administered Gretchen's test gave her one before on marriage boot camp as well as LVPs. The company offers acting services and have promised to give favorable results upon request. Little Red, hi, I've been watching OC since episode 1. It came on at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. I was about to start cooking dinner. I was channel surfing. It came up on the pop channel, and I remember it saying, let's see what happens beyond the gates. So I said out loud, well, let's see what happens beyond the gates. And I've been watching ever since, until this season. Naked and wasted is a Southern saying. It means you got wasted and you screwed someone you can't remember. You need to watch, allegedly, David Quinn. Allegedly, Kiki went out with Katie. They talked about Gretchen, said she went to the hospital feeling sick or whatever. Kiki worked for Andy. Great storyline for season 19. Nothing ever did happen, so it's a win. Tamara knew this, and the game begins. Name one thing that Katie lied about. Name one housewife that doesn't lie or talk to bloggers. OC needed a storyline, and Kiki brought them one. Miss you guys. Enjoy your week.
Thanks, Little Red.
Everyone knows what's going on here but us.
Yeah, because we're too in it. We're too in the soup.
Yeah. Lori Mazinski. I believe Katie, and she is now my favorite on the show. And then she also goes on to say that Kiki connected with Katie to come get together.
Yeah.
So that was the other person that said that.
Which could very well be true. I just don't, it's
Totally.
neither here nor there to me personally.
Gretchen was not a cast member yet, and Kiki said the meeting was off the record. Yeah, I don't know. Nobody talked to Kiki. I don't think this was good business for, isn't everyone supposed to be anonymous sources and off the record? And I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know much about journalism, but I think that's a pretty strong one of the top 3 things.
Tenants.
Yeah. What do I know? Mary Aika Kent says, you're doing OC. Oh, Mike is going to become Mark and leave a lot. There is not enough meteor to save him from these fuckwads. These people all suck and all lie. Also, we got a baby kitty named Lucy 2 weeks ago, and she looks just like your Minnie. I love that for you, because Minnie was the cutest fucking kitten that I have ever fucking seen.
She was this big, and I have pictures of her sleeping.
No,
on
I'll
my chest.
probably be rolling all those photos while we're
so
doing
cute.
this. She was the best.
And I let her know that I too have a kitten named Lucy. It's not a kitten anymore, but
that's right.
my Lucy Goosey.
Mary Aika also says, I think Gretchen told Katie she went to the hospital and they did a toxicology report. And if Gretchen had actually gone to the hospital, I used to work in the ER. They would have run a toxicology report on her if she was that out of it, which I watched that season and she was out of it that night. So they would have definitely done a drug screen. So maybe she told Katie she went to the hospital and they did do a drug screen toxicology report. And Katie took that as she was given drugs and was roofied. But I would not put it past Slade and Gretchen to have told Katie and her husband their version of history and embellished. And then when Katie had lunch with Kiki, she relayed the story. And now Gretchen's realizing, oh shit, I lied. I got to walk that back. Everyone hates Katie and thinks she's a liar already because she has lied in the past season. I'm going to pile on Katie. I think Gretchen's plan backfired to come in and take down Tamara. That's very accurate too.
That's
that
what I'm
is
saying. Comment section was lit.
Totally was. Meteor Wine says, funny, I never hit the OC gang. I did OG, Roni, BH, a couple seasons of New Jersey, and have struggled through the New York reboot. But the Mormon girls, they have real feelings. If you know, you know. Sounds like they are right up there with the OC girls in lying. Well, when will any of the ladies learn that a lie is just the truth waiting to be uncovered? Mike, see you on Golf Rival? What the hell is Golf Rival? Don't tell me.
Either.
Don't tell me. Will we see you on it though?
Yes.
Nettie says, the last scene I saw was Tamara sitting at a dinner table throwing a tantrum while not being able to open her right eye. I was like, what is happening? Was this a Botox malfunction? Scorpio 1111. I think it's weirder that Slade thought he was going to be on The Bachelor.
Oh my God. Jesus H. Christ.
I would love to live on whatever planet
Slade is
living
on.
What a nice time.
Wait, did you ever see that video of the mom saying, wait, what's God's name? And the little girl goes, Howard. And she goes, oh, it is? And she goes, mm-hmm. And she goes, how do you know that? She goes, Howard be thy name. So whenever I say Jesus H. Christ, I'm like, Jesus Howard Christ.
Yvonne Pingleton says, Katie did the harm to herself. However, the blatant bullying from the rest of them was gross. Tamara should have never, ever been brought back.
And that's right. It's
true.
Tracks.
I mean, we wouldn't be watching a show if Tamara wasn't here, but if we lived in a perfect world, she would not be here.
And I don't like not having an opinion, but I can't fully dig my heels in and have an opinion because I don't 100% know what's happening because I think every person has a little lie.
Yeah.
So now it's just like, well, then this is all just ruined.
Yeah.
So just throw the whole dish out and cook me a new meal.
This is the first time that I've never been like, nope, this is what happened. I'm always staunch about like the things.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this has been the most confusing thing I've ever watched.
Same.
Okay, I'm closing it out with Truth for Peace for Freedom.
Mike hit a flat note.
No, we need someone to go, woo, at the end. It always needs to have that at the end. Do it.
Woo.
Woo! That was good.
That was exactly what was in my head. Okay. I have no clue who is lying and who is telling the truth, but I think Gretchen felt incredibly hurt and taken advantage of at a house where she thought she was forming a new friendship. To convey just how terrible she felt and how vulnerable she was because tequila shots were being peer pressured upon her, she stretched the truth. Now, how the toxicology report got involved, someone definitely took some liberties with that one. But why? But who and why? But more importantly, who cares?
Comment of the night.
One thing I know for certain is that Barney is a purple dinosaur and Tamara is cold-blooded with a forked tongue. Tamara was previously married to Simon, who has the surname Barney. I think she should have pulled a Sheena Shea and kept her previous name because that woman is a reptile. And I'm not talking about a cute reptile like an iguana that crawls upon your chest while you're sleeping. I still don't think I would like that. I'm talking more about the Komodo dragon that viciously attacked Sharon Stone's husband's foot. Charlie Sheen claimed to have tiger blood flowing through his veins. I'm claiming that Tamara Barney has king cobra blood flowing through hers. If she was only a few years older, I could see her dating Anton Levy. Levy?
I don't know who that is.
I don't either. I'm just saying it like I do. Anton Levy, yeah, totally. What is Tamara's mother's name? I bet it's Rosemary. By the way, I could totally see Eddie and Mike being great friends and riding their bicycles together, but I don't want that to happen because I don't want Tamara anywhere near Natalie. Thank you for looking out for me. She will not like me because I'm blonde and I have big boobs.
This is Anton Levy.
Does he look familiar to you?
No, just wanted the people to know who it was.
Yeah, this show used to be fun. One of the greatest memories I have of this show was when Vicky snuck up on her daughter and her new boyfriend like a freak while they were on a date at a restaurant just to say hi and see what they ordered. I knew right then and there that this is a literal crazy person and I am all in. I was hooked on the show at that exact moment.
I believe that was Colton, and they broke up.
Oh, that's right. Interesting information about the lie detectors working in showbiz. I wonder if this is the same company that gave Kris Jenner a test on James Corden's show, which proved she passed on the question if she was pimping out her daughter. I believe Ray J. That's Big Mama Pimp Chris. P.S. Mike, your sausage joke made me LOL. I'm sorry, it made her... Oh, I don't even want to read this part. I should have skipped it.
No, you shouldn't. Just read
Keep
it
going.
correctly.
Mike, your sausage joke made me LLOL. That stands for literally laugh out loud. Love a dad joke. We're finished. Truth. Lose my number. Again, you don't have to live here. We do.
I basically
don't.
do.
Oh, you do so well without me?
Like and subscribe for more family fun.
All
guys.
right. We are starting Salt Lake. And we have someone that is going to be doing Salt Lake with us. I know that everyone really likes Mike. I don't understand why exactly, but I get it. So the people that come here are helping Mike out. So no one's replacing Mike, but Mike, as you might have gotten a whiff of this episode, he doesn't watch this show. So if you want commentary from anyone, you should have a fill-in.
Yeah.
So
It's been fun, everybody.
How's it?
all right, that's
Well,
it.
like and
That's all.
subscribe, and we'll see you in Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Catch on the slopes for the après ski.
Oh, yeah. Well, the après ski is after ski, so catch you not on the slopes.
Well, the slopes are there
Yeah,
for
yeah, exactly.
for the view. Great
Bye,
views
guys.
on that show. Okay, love you. Bye.